and welcome to another episode of The Freakin' Weekend. I'm your host, Jackie Lucas.
Jeff Banson here to your, I guess, right, but technically left. No, it's like it's your right on the screen. It would be,
but
your
in your
left
ear.
if you
no,
were.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. In both of your ears, much to your chagrin.
Oh my goodness. Hope everybody's having
happy weekend.
Happy Mother's Day
Happy
weekend,
Mother's Day
right?
weekend. Yes,
yeah.
to you. This is not your first.
No,
this
it's
is
not.
my wife's first, but this is not your first. So, tell me, do you really feel like a mom on your first one? Are you like, wait, I'm a mom now? Or are you still like kind of getting used to it?
I think maybe the first Mother's Day is probably like one of the more special Mother's Day. So I hope that you're doing something special for
special,
Lana.
Yeah, special for sure. But like, I'm talking to you. Do you actually like? Are you like, this is a holiday? This is new. Like, kind of feeling it out. I've never celebrated this holiday before.
I know.
Obviously, you have for your mom, but like, now it's yours. It's a holiday. It's like, that's a good one. It's like a holiday that you celebrate, but never for you until now. It's
but it's funny that you say that because then you still have to basically like go and see your mom and like Andre's mom and stuff. But can I share like I got an early Mother's Day gift. I guess I wasn't supposed to. Hold on. It's right here because I figured if we started talking about this, it's actually like very funny. So, the best part, I guess now about Mother's Day is that the kids go to school and teachers are so sweet because they help them do these handcrafted, cute ideas, like for them. So I haven't gotten Aubrey's. I did get Lucas's, which was very cute. So I'm in JoJo's backpack. And I'm trying to like get his stuff out because he's starting to become organized, but he's still a boy and he's just not that organized. So I'm pulling stuff out of his backpack and I pull up this crumpled piece of paper that's shoved in his backpack, which is my Mother's Day craft that he made for me. And you can't really see it. And people that are listening, you can't see it regardless. But basically it's a vase and the vase says mom and it's 4 little flowers. And in each flower, he wrote a word to describe me.
Okay.
The
so
first
wait,
flower
is it an
says,
actual jar?
Wait, okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like a colored in green jar,
I thought it was like
a 9-year-old.
I thought it was
All right,
like one
so
of those.
My first flower. Yeah, no, it's not. It's on a piece. It's just paper, crumpled now. The first word that he used to describe me, determined. And so I asked him, and I said, "So why did you pick determined?" And he said, "Well, because you went through a rough time with work and stuff, and you really worked hard to turn things around and come out on top." And I was
That's
like,
really
oh
insightful.
Gosh.
That's incredibly insightful. And how old is Lucas?
That's JoJo. He's 9.
Excuse me.
This is JoJo. He's
right.
my oldest, 3rd
For a
grade.
9-year-old, man, that is something.
And I'll say
that must
this
have brought
much,
a tear to your eye.
It really did because this whole time, that I've been kind of trying to figure out what a next step was. And they saw me struggling, I guess, to a certain extent. You try to hide as a parent, like you don't want them to know that you're upset or you're scared or whatever else is going. But the fact that from the outside, he saw that I was working really hard to create a next path for myself, I hope that stays with him forever. So yeah. So second flower, tough love. To describe me, not loving, not whatever. And then he said, you try to teach me with tough love, some lessons. Cause I say all the time, like I love him. I'm silly with him and everything else. But when push comes to shove, I'm there to teach him, you know what I mean? And be hard on him and have good, high expectations. So he becomes the best person that he can be. Reaction.
So what you're saying, JoJo, is you're never going to get mom for being tough on you ever again, right? We get that in writing? We have it in writing now.
I know, because sometimes he's like, you're so mean to me. I'm like, I'm not being mean to you. I'm trying to teach you. So, all right.
Comes with the territory, kid.
The next one, passionate. So we just said
these are really good words,
right? And then
it's not like fun or like
silly.
Cool. Yeah, these are big boy words. These are like SAT almost.
And then the fourth flower is musical.
Musical.
Which I actually was really surprised that was one of the words, but we have been, like I'll play the piano for them and stuff. And I'm like, music for me, I love music and I love the music my whole life. And you love music too. I know that. Yeah. And we both kind of have like a musical passion.
You see the guitar hanging up behind me.
Yeah. For years, it's kind of been like suppressed because, I'm been a mom for almost a decade and you put your passions aside and whatever else. But we have been like singing a lot together and doing things like that. And it's kind of building confidence in my kids to be able to kind of grab a karaoke microphone and sing, or, play the piano and stuff. So I thought it was sweet. Words that I would never have probably thought, maybe tough love, but the other ones I never would have thought he would have put in a Mother's Day card. But I feel like I guess I'm doing an okay job. I don't know.
I like I mean, those are really good adjectives for maybe our schools are getting better or we're teaching our kids better because I wasn't a dumb kid too. I think 9th or 10th grade I got into a gifted kids program, but I can't even. Again, I don't think it's even like smart. It's just insightful. And you could tell that he is very in tune with you as a mom. I don't think I would ever, I'm trying to envision what 9-year-old Jeff would do in that situation. I just can't envision putting words like that. It's just, that's so cool. That's an awesome early Mother's Day gift for sure. And
yeah,
by the way, I was just going to say, Lana came home before. And I guess they packed, Luca, whatever an 8-month-old is able to do with arts and crafts, but I'm sure helped him a little bit make something and slipped it in the backpack. I just hear Lana go, "Oh, Jeff." And I'm like, I was like, oh, I hope it's not something bad. But then I realized it was something good. But then I'm like, wait, did I leave my Mother's Day gift out? Like, did I leave it on the table? And she saw it, and no, she walks in with the paper, and it was like, Happy Mother's Day. Oh, the little things, the littlest thing obviously means so much.
It really does, because I even said to my husband, I hope you're not buying me anything because these handmade things, that's like kind of all I need, and then we'll be on the sports field for Mother's Day. That's just takes, but we're going to do a little like brunch. All the moms are going to bring little like brunchy snacks and like drinks and stuff. And like, we're going to have a celebration on the lacrosse field. And that's what it is now. That's what it's all about.
That's cool. But I like that.
But I will say though, it's May. Mm-hmm. And it's still cold.
Oh, we're going to get to the weather section of the podcast here.
Do you want to talk about something else first, or because I know you don't want to spoil Lana's Mother's Day.
I asked you this. I don't know why I remember this, but I asked you this on live TV once, and I said, I think it was last, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive it was last year Memorial Day. Remember how bad that weekend was? It's just like this weekend, which is all the more like mind-boggling. It's like, oh, it was this, but 3 weeks later, when we're almost in meteorological summer, it was just so bad. It was cold. It was in like barely the 50s, which is where we're going to be this weekend with rain. And it was almost all 3 Memorial Day days were like that. So I asked you on, I think that Saturday, I said, I'm going to give you 2. You were like, how would you describe the weather this weekend? I said, I have 2 sets of 2. The first being dumpster fire and the second being train wreck.
Yes.
Like, just no other way to describe it. Like, other than saying oof or woof. Bad. Just bad weather. I mean, all around.
I almost feel like these past bunch of years, we've never had a real spring. That literally it just goes from winter for 7 months to summer. And it's like you've had the heat on for like 7 months, but November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I'm sure some people still have their heat on. I ticker back and forth by turning it on and off because it's the point that it's May and the heat's not supposed to be on and the windows should be open, but you can't because it's 50 degrees out. And then we're gonna all put our air conditioners on at the same time.
I mean, your first point.
Explain this to us.
I really don't.
Why?
We're just stuck in a crummy pattern. Now, I will say this, that the saying that you started with right there, that you led with, of that's the new normal, is I feel like we go right from winter to summer with very little spring. That is, you're not the first person I've heard that from. I've been hearing that more and more and more, probably over the last like decade. It's been really kind of glaring how much I've heard that. And I think that speaks more to the kind of, listen, is it drastic? No, but it doesn't need to be a changing climate. I think, we're seeing, even by a day or two, we're seeing that average of like kind of when the first spring is happening. It's been going back and forth. It's of course the weather patterns have been changing since the dawn of time, but you have to remember that like the industrial revolution and the blow up of man being on the planet was only 160 170 years ago, the 1860s 70s. That's when we started introducing coals and fossil fuels and all that. I could listen, you want to talk climate change and go climatology, feel free to message me on Facebook. We'll have fun. We'll talk it out, because I'm never someone who is one to pish posh ideas. I'm always listening to what people have to say. That being said, things are changing, and right now it's very warm in spots of the world. But whenever you have a warm spot, the atmosphere is tending to balance out. That means somewhere is getting colder than normal temperatures, and we're just locked into that right now. And it's crazy because of that little dip. I think really kind of throws us all off, because we're thinking we should be in the 70s. I mean, I remember May days. I remember playing Little League, and the first week of May, I think I was in middle school. I remember it was like 95 degrees out. So you can get like real hot this time of year. But this is like late March, early April weather. And it's funny, it feels like now in March we're getting like late February weather, but it all tends to really change quick. And I just think the way our weather patterns have been working, it sometimes you can get really stuck in one, and then you break out of it and all of a sudden it gets really warm. There's just so many factors to play into it, Jackie. But don't shoot the messenger. That's all I can say.
We always shoot the messenger. I mean, that's like, when you have a job where, you don't have to be 100% accurate at all times. What other jobs, like, there's a chance I'm gonna get this right. There's a chance of a slight risk.
You're mixing this here, because we're not technically getting something wrong. You just don't like the news that we're delivering to you. We knew all week it was going to be.
There's no, because there's been plenty of times in the past.
Where are we going here?
Why? Hold on, what?
I don't know where you're going here.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there because there's been
I don't know where there is.
Some meteorologists have said, we're only going to get about 3 inches of snow, and then we wind up getting 9 inches of snow. And like, we couldn't have predicted it because the shift of the track went this way. Or you say we're going to get 12 inches, and we only get 4 inches of snow. And
okay, I love that you made that point, because it made me laugh. But no, I think we're talking about I'm not talking about us ever being wrong. I'm just talking about like this weekend. Like, you just don't like the forecast, and I'm getting blamed for it. We've been wrong before. Of course we have.
I said your profession just as a whole. Like,
yes.
Yes.
A lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty in weather.
There is a lot of
uncertainty. But hey, if you would have told someone 50 years ago that we'd be getting the weather right at times 7 to 10 days out, they'd be like, 100 years ago, they would have probably hung you for witchcraft. If you've never watched probably. It, do you have Amazon, Jackie? If you do, or for anyone out there that does, check out the movie Aeronauts, I believe it is, Aeronauts, Aeronauts. It is about the first weather observers, I guess meteorologists, if you will. They used to go up in hot air balloons, and they'd take their measurements up with them. And all of their colleagues, even in the scientific community, the general public would like laugh at them, because they're like, "What are you doing? You think you can figure out what weather we're gonna get?" Again, it was unheard of to even get a day in advance, century ago. And then 50 years ago, I mean, it's really been going up pretty drastically. I think we're starting to level off a little bit now, but getting the 3-day and then the 5-day and then the 7-day. Now you see 10 days, and then there are some outlets out there that present 45-day forecasts. That's another story.
Yeah, it's
But
a little
I mean,
crazy.
just where we're at right now, the science has really come along, and I think with that, the demands of people like yourself are higher. If you can get 7 days, if you can get 10 days, why can't you tell me what it's going to be like on July 3rd this year? I got a barbecue coming up. I got a barbecue.
I don't have expectations of like even past. I'll give you 4 days. You know what I mean? Because I think that's a fair thing that you up to 3 days, you should be able to accurately predict maybe the weather. I don't know. So when the 10-day forecast comes out, I don't trust it anyway. And how many times have you watched a 7 to 10-day forecast and then, it's the weekend and the following weekend you're having a barbecue or whatever. And it's like, oh, the icon of it raining is on the screen. And you're freaking out because you're like, oh my God, I have to change my plans. And then literally 3 to 4 days out, that's gone and it's going to be cloudy maybe.
That's also how, first of all, we only have a limited time on TV to talk about these things. So I'm obviously focused mostly on today, tomorrow, maybe the 3 days out. Then when we get to that, extended forecast, okay, we'll look ahead towards, say, next weekend. There's really not a whole lot of time to delve into that. That's kind of how an app can get you in trouble too, because you'll see that rain icon and you'll freak out. But there's a story behind that. Sometimes icons will pop up and the certainty of the rain will be very low. It'll be like, oh, there'll be a sprinkle in the morning and then the rest of the day sunny. So that's kind of how, So if you look at the app, you sometimes have to, you can't just look at the icon. You have to look at the text. But I'm you're saying 4 days, Jackie. If you look at our 3 to 5 day, or I say hour, but the forecast of anybody, you look at that 3 to 5 day range, it's pretty high accuracy. I think there's a little bit of recency bias in weather. It's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? I think, okay, let's say we're 80% and we get 8 of those 3 to 5 days. They're really good. No one's saying anything. And then you get one and it happens to be on a weekend or it happens to be on a holiday. I feel like that really sticks out in people's minds, maybe a little bit unfairly. I'm not trying to push blame off here. I'm just saying, there are a lot of things to consider. That's all.
I think that I am pretty, not easy on you when it comes to the weather, but just I only get angry when it's the extreme where there's supposed to be like a big thunderstorm and and it doesn't rain at all. You know what I mean? Or it's supposed to be 2 inches of snow and then we wind up getting 12. It's those extreme things. That's when I, as a viewer, get very angry with the meteorologists and the apps and everything else. The weather.
Picture you when you say angry. I picture you. The heat miser. There it is. That's what I picture. Oh man, we should find that. We should find that.
Oh wait, let's see. Do I have? People listening can't really see.
No, maybe
it'll take me a while to find that.
That's gonna be our screenshot this week. Is gonna be me and you shaking our fists at the screen while Jackie looks that up. So it's funny because we talked about the heat. You'd mentioned the heat, and I didn't even tell you what happened with me with the heat this week. So usually our burner's not running very much after April. This year, it's the first week of May, and it's 40s at night, 50s during the day. We got a newborn baby. We really don't have the luxury. I mean, when it was just Lana and I, we would scrimp. We would try to wear extra layers, but you can't really do that too much when you have a kid. And you also don't want to bundle him up and make him overheat to the point. And then when he goes to bed, he can't have a blanket at this point because it's still a choking hazard.
Yeah.
So you can't bundle him like that. It needs to be temperate. Well, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Put him in the the zip up blankets,
sleep sack,
like the little sleep sack. Yeah,
I call him the sleep wizard.
I love the sleep sacks. They're so good.
Yeah, I wish I had a sleep sack.
Does he stand up yet, like on the crib yet, or no? How old is he?
He's essentially there because I'll hold him and he'll push himself up with his legs are strong, man. I hope he's gonna play soccer. I definitely hope he's gonna play soccer. But no, he's 8.5.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
So, but anyway, been running the burner more than usual. I mean, I put most of this responsibility on myself because I'm usually the one that when I go down, I'm checking the level, the little the little level on the top of the oil. I don't know if you have
I
natural
don't. I
gas.
guess. Yeah. I guess. So
I
don't know what
envy
you're
you.
talking about.
So I envy you because home heating oil through the roof right now. I mean, diesel has been kind of making the news as the thing that's like $6 a gallon. Hate to break it to you, people out there, but essentially heating oil is essentially diesel fuel. So that's like $6.50 a gallon. So for the price that I would fill up my entire tank, I can barely do that with like 40% of my tank now. It's almost doubled. It's absolutely wild. And so with the cold weather and running the heat more, I thought we would easily not be able to fill up until the fall. Boy, was I mistaken. We, for the first time ever, ran out, completely ran out of fuel the other day. We're like trying to warm up the water, take a shower. Hey, why isn't the water heating up? I'm washing my hands, cold water. I didn't really think anything of it because sometimes it takes a while anyway. But then when the shower came into play, then it was bad.
Oh, no.
So we found out that it was, okay, no problem. Get a delivery the next day. The oil company was great. They're like, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. No problemo. So I put it in, turn on the heat, turn on the hot water. Why can't I hear the boiler firing? So I did some research, and I also happen to have a family friend who is an HVAC guy. When you go down to dead nothing, the oil burner will try to pull from the tank even when there's nothing there. It doesn't know that there's nothing there. So it pulls air, and so air bubbles get stuck in the fuel line. So yesterday, I mean, I'm so lucky that I didn't have to call someone out. Probably would have been hundreds of dollars. He helped me figure out where this like little valve was. Unfortunately, I have all the tools you need to be a homeowner. And I had to get a wrench and kind of loosen it, force fire the burner on with the button on it, and kind of jostle back and forth, he was like, be careful because you loosen it too much, the oil could come squirting out of you. I had to get a drip pan underneath. And then, he's like, if you get it on you, that stuff will take weeks to come off because it's like crude oil. So I had to let a little bit out, and then you would see like air bubbles coming out, and I had to do that process until the stream had no more like breaks or any bubbles in it, and then the burner started working. So there's a new skill set to add to the trick, but my oh my, just the fact that we're in this situation because it's been so chilly out, man, just stinks, and doesn't help with the price and the state of oil right now. But boy, what a week. What a week.
That's so. While you're
I'm
telling
lost of words.
this story, I want to be like. So how long? What was your how? How long have you married for? How long have you been married for? 3 years? Is it only 3 years?
It's only 3 years. We actually got our house before we got married, so we've had the house longer.
Just funny, like you're telling these stories, and you're like, oh, did you ever think like 5 to 10 years ago you'd be like, and I'm telling a story about the oil burner, like
nope.
Just like that's always kids and just like other like home problems. That's all we talk about now.
Really crazy to think about it. And I said to Lana, you're lucky I'm semi-capable with tools. We put if you look at the photos, even of outside around the house, the before, like, the photos that were up when we bought the house and how we inherited the house. I probably shouldn't use that word. People think we got a free house. No, we pay a mortgage. Don't worry. But just when we came into the house, it's so different. And you just do project here, a project there. And every now and then I have to step back and remind myself to give myself a break sometimes, because to see the changes, to go back and then look at those pictures and see everything you've done at once, it's like mind-blowing. It's like, wow, I did all that? Like, and probably saved thousands. I really, I draw the line. There are certain projects like electricity, not touching it. Nope. I'll mess with plumbing a little bit. Clearly, I'll mess with HVAC a little bit. I'll do as much outside stuff as I can. I try to do as much as I can. It's getting harder now. I'm glad I decided to use the years before having a child to do all that, because I feel like to do some of those bigger projects now is just, it's almost impossible. So, but I definitely find value in trying to do as much as you can without hiring the big guns, because everything's just, I mean, the cost of materials, the cost of wood. I was building something, right? I buy the wood, I figure out it's the wrong size. I go back 2 days later to the same store, buy the right size, which was the same price 2 days prior. The price went up like $1.50 like that day. It goes up.
This is like a whole nother podcast.
I know.
This is a whole nother podcast that we need to talk about this. Yeah. So you were saying before, you do a lot of stuff yourself, and every now and then you need to give yourself a break. So I know that you just got home from a long day, so I am going to give you a break, and we're going to end this podcast.
It's not Father's Day yet. You're not supposed to give me presents.
It was so cute. I got to see you. Those sweet cheeks of Luca you were kissing and stuff. So you go enjoy. I'm going to enjoy my Mother's Day weekend. I hope happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mommies out there and grandmothers and everything.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Happy Mother's Day, Jackie.
Yes, thank you.
Of course,
and
enjoy
don't forget to
Have
subscribe.
a good brunch.
Thanks, I will. Leave comments, give us some topic suggestions and everything, and give us a nice little like to tell us if you like what we're talking about, or thank goodness there's no dislike button.
That's right. I think on YouTube there might be.
Oh yeah, there is a dislike button.
I'm pretty sure there's
right.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't speak
too
soon.
I don't think we've gotten now we're gonna get like old dislike buttons. Oh
Listen,
gosh.
Hey, interact with us whatever way you want. We appreciate it, and hopefully you continue to do so, and share us with your friends. And again, like Jackie said, comment and give us some ideas and interact. We love to hear from you. All right. We'll see you next time on the Freaking Weekend. Have a great rest of your freaking weekend, and again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Take care, everybody.
Bye.